Hello ladies and gentlemen, media viewers of Burundi National Television. Welcome to the English News Edition, Top Stories. The President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, received an audience this Thursday at Intare Paris, the Ambassador of the United States to Burundi. And public fund managers must demand invoices issued by electronic merchants approved by the Burundi Revenue Authority, OBR, in accordance with the law of the national budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Welcome to Details, dear viewers. I'm Jackson Lacoste. An extraordinary council of ministers was held this Thursday at Intare Paris, chaired by the President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye. Two key items were on the agenda. These are the draft National Energy Compact for the Republic of Burundi and the draft Organic Law, revising Organic Law number 1/27 of 9th December 2021 relating to the mandate, organization, composition and the functioning of the National Police of Burundi. And U.S. Ambassador, the President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, received an audience this Thursday at Intare Paris, the Ambassador of the United States to Burundi. At the end of the meeting, the U.S. Ambassador stated that their discussion focused on security issues in the sub-region and the American investment in Burundi. Please kindly listen.
This was an opportunity to catch up after my travel to the United States and some meetings that I had there. We talked about the situation in the region in general, the possibility of some interest from American investors, and the return of some of our assistance activities, above all in the health sector.
And the First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, Angeline Ndayishimiye, received a guest from the Kingdom of Morocco. The guest is the Vice President of the National Observatory for Children's Rights in Morocco. During their discussions, they agreed on establishment of strong ties between the Umugiraneza Foundation and the Moroccan National Observatory for Children's Rights. Evariste Ndayishimiye carries details.
President Benjamin was received by the Burundian First Lady Angeline Ndayishimiye. Benjamin is the Vice President of the National Observatory for Children's Rights in Morocco. This institution is chaired by Her Royal Highness, the Queen of the Kingdom of Morocco. Their discussions focus on the charitable activities carried out by the Burundian First Lady through the Umugiraneza Foundation. They agreed to collaborate in the area of youth health, particularly through training programs aimed at promoting good health among young people.
The outcome is to collaborate about children's rights between Morocco and Burundi. The National Observatory of Children's Rights, presided by Her Royalty the Princess Lala Mariam, is also very engaged in this way, and the foundation of the First Lady in Burundi is also very engaged. So we look for collaboration between our countries.
Strong relations will be established between the Umugiraneza Foundation and the Moroccan National Observatory for Children's Rights.
Always here in Bujumbura, the National Assembly met this Thursday under the leadership of its President Daniel Gelazi Ndabirabe to analyze and adopt the final audit report on the management of the Kamenge University Hospital Center, conducted by the Court of Auditors. The Minister of National Education and Scientific Research, François Habyarimana, was invited to respond to questions raised by members of the Parliament. Gordier Gatogato has more.
The Court of Auditors prepared this report with the objectives of verifying the regularity of certain financial and administrative operations, as well as assessing the performance of Roi Khaled Hospital in the fulfillment of its missions. With regard to administrative governance, the court noted that the regulatory text governing the functioning of this hospital and the organization of its activities have not been updated. Indeed, the hospital's internal regulations date back to 2001, whereas the presidential decree on the organization of the institution was promulgated in 2020. The court therefore recommended updating these texts to ensure their compliance with the current legal framework. In terms of internal management, it was observed that department heads are not systematically consulted during recruitment processes. The court recommended that the hospital's management involve all department heads in recruitment procedures. The report also highlighted a shortage of medical specialists. On this matter, the Minister of Education and Scientific Research explained that this situation is mainly due to the absence of recruitment from 2015 to 2020. However, he emphasized that the country does have medical specialists, although their number remains insufficient. Furthermore, members of Parliament expressed concerns about the lack of procurement plans related to the acquisition of medical equipment. The report indeed points to insufficient planning in this regard. In response, Minister François Habyarimana stated that the procurement framework is well established, while acknowledging that difficulties arise during the implementation of forecasts. He assured that the shortcomings identified by the Court of Auditors will be addressed with appropriate solutions. At the conclusion of the report's review, the Standing Committee on Defense and Security at the National Assembly requested that a parliamentary delegation be dispatched as soon as possible to inquire into the daily management of Centre Hospitalo-Universitaire of Kamenge, as well as the quality of services provided to patients.
As you were informed in headlines, public fund managers must demand invoices issued by electronic merchants approved by the Burundi Revenue Authority, OBR, in accordance with the law on the national budget for 2025-2026 fiscal year. This announcement was made by Stanley Ngendakumana, OBR spokesperson for public and semi-public sector officials from Bujumbura province. Jivan Ndayishimiye.
This meeting, organized for public fund managers in Bujumbura province, aimed to raise their awareness about the implementation of Article 234 of the law establishing the national budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. This article stipulates that all purchases of goods and services must be supported by an invoice issued by an electronic billing machine approved by the Burundi Revenue Authority, OBR. Spokesperson for the OBR stated that this law requires every public fund manager to request an electronic invoice from their supplier. If the supplier falls under the category of micro taxpayers, managers must withhold 20% of the invoice amount paid to the public treasury and settle the remaining balance with the service provider or vendor. Participants in the workshops expressed their concerns, noting that some of them had already contracted services and received invoices not in compliance with this law. In response, Stanley Ngendakumana clarified that such pending invoices will have to be replaced by invoices issued through an electronic billing machine. If the supplier is a micro taxpayer, 30% of the invoice amount will be withheld. It is planned that similar meetings will also be held in other provinces of the country.
The religious personnel, Jesus is Lord Ministry, in collaboration with the African Ministry of Compassion, MAC, has expressed satisfaction with how church leaders in Burundi have received and understood the country's vision of an emerging
and the choice of a man in his life between good and evil. He then asked Christians to consider balance about these two aspects in their daily practices. Both Burundians and those who came from other countries such as Kenya and Uganda appreciated that the lessons they received are very useful in their daily mission and promised to share them with others.
The teachings have been so good. So many questions that I've been having in my heart have been answered. The speaker was so eloquent, was accurate, and everything he was saying was talking the body of Christ. The body of Christ. I'm like, I wish everybody was here, because there are so many of us who are out there who did not come here, who have missed a lot. For the body of Christ, it has been equipped. The body of Christ has been equipped. And also the leaders who have been here, the bishops and the pastors who have been here, they've been equipped. And I know they are going to cause an impact on their congregation where they came from. Of course, they are going to make an impact in our country, because the message that has been taught, the teachings were for the body of Christ all over the world. So even this message, I've been writing down everything, and I'm going to take this to Uganda. And I know Uganda is going to celebrate the message because it was right.
This one from Kenya asked the organizers to take the training to that country so that it would change a lot as it is happening in Burundi. Pastor Leonard Tuyishimire, who leads the church Jesus is Lord, said that in collaboration with the African Ministry of Compassion MAC, they have decided that along with the teachings of the
and in these Thursdays, environment segment will visit human activities that are negatively impacting biodiversity. Experts here are sounding the alarm about the growing threats caused by these actions. Evariste Nyonguru once more.
Human activities relate to urbanization, mining and the exploitation of lakes and rivers, along with the deforestation, particularly for charcoal and firewood, and the poor waste disposal practices, especially household wastes, are all contributing to the degradation of biodiversity. Experts in the field are raising the alarm. Biodiversity must be valued, preserved, restored, and used sustainably. Failing to do so will lead to serious negative consequences, as the destruction of nature and biodiversity has direct impacts on human well-being. Other humans are at the center of biodiversity loss. They also hold the key to its restoration. Biodiversity is a global concern. Our forests, for example, provide essential ecosystem services to numerous institutions within our country. Protecting biodiversity and the environment is ultimately a way of protecting ourselves. This message was delivered by Berekima Satungimana during the closing of a two-day national consultation workshop on biodiversity financing. All stakeholders were invited to propose solutions to mobilize funding for the protection of nature and biodiversity.
Thank you, dear viewer, for working attention. This is the end of our English News Edition. I quite thank the technical team that were together with me, and I'm really going to miss you.